Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in to today's fourth and final video. We're going to have a look at the weather for the next 10 to 14 days. For today's final video, day 10, will take us to the 6th of December. Wow. And we'll be able to extend out beyond that with the GFS and ECM ensembles. And they run around a couple of weeks. We'll have a look at the GFS V2 at the end of the video, the next 4 weeks, and that will get us into the second half of December, run up towards Christmas, actually. Goodness gracious me. And I shall get on that for you in a moment. Just to say that the first video today was the 6 a.m. upload. And we've also released the weekend forecast, as well as a big video, the third and final Winter 2022-2023 seasonal model roundup, getting 16 long-range ones together from the world's leading forecast centres to see what they are all showing for the final time this season. So make sure you check that one out. That, of course, ahead of tomorrow's 13th and final winter update, and then the winter forecast release next Sunday. You may have noticed I'm being a little bit exuberant. I am still rather giddy from last night's live stream. What an epic that was. If you wasn't able to watch it live, we did run on until midnight with it. If you wasn't able to watch it live, then it is worth a watch back on catch up. And, you know, least said about it, the better, really, I think, from my point of view. But it was a case of like, oops, I did it again. I was channeling Britney with the screen capture. But it gave us all a laugh anyway. So, yeah, thank you so much to everybody who was on the live stream last night. And I hope you enjoyed it. And it was a lot of fun. Although there has been kind of like a morning after the night before feel, you know, to today. But anyway, we should get on with your 10 to 14 there for you right now. Please like, share, subscribe videos. So, by the way, around 50 subscribers now. That's all we need to get to 14.9k. I'm getting very close now to 14,900 subscribers. So please give us a sub, and thank you so much, everybody, for doing that. Right then, so we're going to start off with the centering temperature. The CT is currently sitting let's highlight this, currently sitting at 9.6, which is 3 degrees above average, give or take 0.1 of a degree, and that's provisional up to yesterday, 25th of the month. I think that's going to come out somewhere in below 9s, around 9.0 to 9.3 or 4, something like that, I would have thought. So it's going to be an exceptionally mild November. Definitely, these are the GFS upgrade temperature and precipitation ensembles. The next couple of weeks on London today. So red line is the 30-year upper air temperature average for London. We're starting off significantly above average at the moment, as we have been through most of this autumn. The upper air temperatures are sliding as we go through the first week of December, going below the red line, going below the long-term 30-year average, and generally staying a little bit below average through into the second week of December as well. There is a lot of scatter within that, though, it must be said. So as early as like the middle to second half of next week, this period just here, from like the 30th of November to around the 4th, 5th of December, got quite a bit of scatter then. That's the initial easterly. Do we get that initial easterly wind in? Some of these ensemble members say no to that. And then beyond that, as we go further on from the first week and second week of December, the scatter gets, you know, greater. Mild ensemble members up here, much colder ensemble members down there. So lots of uncertainty, really, about how cold it's going to get. If it does get cold, how long will it last? Will the cold come from the east or from the north? I should talk you through the weather patterns in the moment. As ever, to get cold into this country, it's not plain sailing, it's not straightforward, and so I'll show you all of the latest charts very soon. Precipitation-wise, got more wet wind weather coming up tonight and tomorrow. Once that's out of the way, we have got a drying trend. Not completely dry, but it has got a drying trend as we go into December. Temperature anomalies on the 26th of November for December, about average, not much of a deviation either way. That's ever so slightly above, but not particularly big deviation. Precipitation anomalies from the 26th of November for December, going drier than average. Well. Latest weather map from northschool.net shows that low pressure is still in control for the time being of weather in the Atlantic. Got another weather system coming in from the west, moving into the country. Once that gets out of the way, then we will start trending towards higher pressure next week. Okay, let's have a look at the chart data map. Let's have a look. You can make your run. It's looking for midnight on Tuesday. High pressure is ridge in from off the Atlantic, so it turns things drier. And then into the second half next week, high pressure takes over to our east. Low pressure being blocked out in the Atlantic. However, not as much of an easterly for the end of next week of the UK Met as it was showing yesterday because of this area of low pressure coming up against the high over Scandinavia. That's how long as we get to this time next week, midnight on Saturday. And nice high pressure in over Scandinavia. These areas of low pressure are being blocked, but we're still not bringing a proper easterly there. So the UK Met backed off from the initial easterly a little bit. A car! Looks like that ridge of high pressure came building in from the southwest on Tuesday. Through Wednesday, Thursday, high pressure takes over into the east of the country, blocking off the Atlantic, starting to turn the wind into a southeasterly by the end of next week. And Icon does get there, actually, with a bit of an easterly by the time we get through to next weekend. Not particularly cold easterly, but high pressure clearly gets more and more involved and influential as next week goes along, and we do eventually start pulling in the winds from the east. Right, GFS midnight run. High pressure ridging from the southwest into the country through the early part of next week, then taking over and to the north and east of the country. The second half of next week, lower pressure coming up against that high through the end of next week, so all getting rather messy. That's what we can get to Saturday, not getting that initial easterly through because of these areas of low pressure out in the Atlantic. It's certainly cooler though, this wind's coming off the continent, though we would be expecting overnight frost and probably quite a bit of fog, I would have thought. That could be the main issue through the second half next week. We might start to fog up. Now, as we move toward day 10, high pressure sits over top of the country, so increasing risk of overnight frost and fog then. And then the high pressure begins to move its way towards Greenland as we go up towards day or beyond day 10. So this is when 7th of December. High pressure is starting to retrogress up towards Greenland, and that starts to bring down a colder northerly wind. So it does eventually get cold with GFS midnight run, not from the east, but from the north. However, it looks relatively short-lived, and then we're back into milder conditions potentially by 12th of December, although we have still got a big area of high pressure sitting there over Scandinavia. GFS 6Z, once more, showing the high pressure regime from the southwest on Tuesday. Second half of next week has high pressure both Scandinavia, low pressure coming in from off the Atlantic, coming up against that area of high pressure and being blocked. Up toward day 10, high pressure reaching around the country, increasing the risk of frost as well. And then same idea, the high pressure scooting up towards Greenland by around day 10. Notice the pressure there is at 1,090 millibars. If that came off, I believe that would be a record-breaking pressure reading. But bear in mind, that probably won't verify, and it might not be a genuine reading either, because over Greenland Plateau, it's always very difficult for the Mars to ascertain, exactly what the pressure is. But certainly a very intense area of high pressure, retrogressing towards Greenland around the day 10 mark, and that sends us off and running out into a cold northerly plunge as we go into the second week of December. That's Thursday, the 8th of December. Yes, we're opening the doors, those cold northern winds, hopefully bringing snow showers into the north and the east. And we set up some really quite cold weather as we go up toward daytime, proper northern blocking there. There's the upper air temperatures for beyond daytime, I should say. That's the 12th of December as far as we get to the GFS midnight run. And, it's not overly cold, actually. You probably expect it to be a bit colder than that, given the synoptics. But then we have got very warm seas around the country at the moment. It's going to take a little while to cool those sea surface temperatures down. But that is a proper locked-in cold spell. There's no quick way out of that. The genuine area of high pressure in the North Atlantic and around Greenland. So those northerly, northeasterly winds will probably go on for several more days beyond that. And of course, we would be having to watch out these areas of low pressure down here. Would they try and bring an attack from the southwest? If they did, that's the kind of thing that might start to deliver a little bit of snow. So very interesting GFS 6 run. We'll show you the parallel data next. Okay, let's start going through that GFS parallel data at the moment. Remember, parallel run will become the operational GFS, I think, on Tuesday or Wednesday, around the 29th, 30th of November, I think. Right, so this is the GFS parallel midnight run. Again, we've got high pressure regime from the southwest on Tuesday. As we go from Wednesday to Thursday, high pressure taking over across Scandinavia and Western Russia, pulling wind into the east. So we get an easterly through with GFS parallel midnight run by Friday. And then into the weekend, high pressure is blocking things out to our north and northeast. Winds again coming in from the east with the parallel. It's not particularly cold easterly, but it'll be chilly and it will have, like a chill to it. Lots of cloud, mist, murk, probably fog coming in with that as well. Retrogression 2 with the GFS parallel midnight run start taking high pressure up towards Greenland, and again that sets us up for a cold northerly blast as we get to the 8th of December. High pressure blocks in the North Atlantic up to Greenland. Low pressure's plunging down the North Sea. That pulls wind into cold northeasterly. And we go off and running then into a prolonged spell of cold blocked weather with the GFS parallel run. Get to the 12th of December. Again, we've got a mid-Atlantic ridge extending up towards Greenland. Trough of low pressure is over to the east country winds coming in from the north. It's a long fetch northerly that we've got there. And the upper air temperatures are colder with the GFS parallel midnight run compared to the operational. And then the GFS 6 parallel run looks like that. So again, high pressure takes over through the course of this week, bringing wind in to the east. Bring wind in from the east temporarily around Thursday, and then low pressure starts trying to get in from off the Atlantic. Moving up toward day 10, we look like that. So lots of blocking, but we're still managing to drop a relatively mild-ish sort of southerly type flow. However, again, in the extended range, the GFS 6 parallel brings lots of blocking to Greenland and Iceland, brings in these north or northeasterly winds, and again, off and running we go into what looks like a prolonged cold and wintry spell as we go into weekend of the 10th and the 11th of December. Low pressure sinking through the country, probably taking snow with it and bringing in very cold northeast winds. Again, there's no quick way out of that. That's how we can get to 12th of December. Look pretty locked in there with the cold conditions blocking around Greenland. Trough of low pressure is across the north and the west of Europe. Upper air temperatures again look really quite cold, especially across the northern parts of Europe. We are opening the doors to those northeasterly winds. So maybe we should be looking more sort of north than east for cold weather. If you're enjoying this video, then please you like, share, subscribe. Thank you so very much, everybody, for doing that. And why not drop a comment and let us know what you think about this and all of our videos. Thank you so much. GM, again, with high pressure ridging over to the east country through the second half of next week, brings the wind into the east. That'll be a cooler easty wind, definitely. And then as we move up towards day 10, again, we're keeping the wind from a southeasterly type direction, so high pressure blocking things out to our north and northeast. Low pressure is around South Spain and Portugal. That could be inching towards a cold spell. And then the ECM at WF looks like this. Again, the high pressure takes over to the east of the country at the end of next week. Much more of an easterly with the ECM at the end of next week. So ECM still sticking to its ideas of a proper easterly around this time next week. Direct easterly feed coming in all the way from Russia, albeit it's not particularly cold. The upper air temperatures aren't that cold, but it'll certainly have a chill to it with that easterly wind. As we go on beyond that, we see the high pressure continue to block things out to our north and northeast, where low pressure starts edging in from the southwest as we move towards day 9 and day 10. So we've got this area of low pressure over top of the country. We cut off the easterly. That's going to be cold and damp conditions, really. High pressure beginning to sort of slip a little bit further southwards and eastwards. So around day 9, 10, the ECM is breaking down the cooler, colder interlude. But, you know, that's a long way off. Precipitation forecast based on that ECM run from ToRedShow.com. More wet weather to come over the next 24 hours or so. And then we're into showery conditions for high pressure ridges in around Tuesday. And towards the middle of next week, high pressure dominates weather. Then wind turns into the east with showers coming in from the east. By the end of next week, maybe a little bit of a wintry flavour to some of those showers around this time next week on those easterly winds, although they will mostly be rain. And then that air of low pressure comes up from the south, bringing rain, maybe a little bit of hill, sleet and snow and whatnot. That's a look by day 10, wet weather in the north and in the east too. These are the options on the table within the ECM ensembles today for day 10. This gets us to the 6th of December from the Icelandic Met Office. 15 members of the ECM ensembles with high pressure to our north, low pressure is to the south, and winds are coming in from the east with that one. And then we've got 14 members of the ECM ensembles, including control and the operation run, still with high pressure over to the northern country. Maybe just a little bit more of a southeasterly component. That does include the control and operation run, as I said. 11 very similar high pressure sinking in over the country, possibly a little bit of southeasterly component with that. And then we've got 11 down here again, high pressure blocking things out to our north, low pressure into our south-southwest. Again, that's going to be a little bit more unsettled, especially for the south, and winds coming from a southeast direction. In 2 weeks' time, these are the options that we've got. This gets us to the 11th of December. 21 members of the ECM ensembles with high pressure blocking from Greenland to Scandinavia. Low pressure to the south, winds coming in from the east with that. 18 with high pressure sort of retrogressing to Greenland and Iceland. Low pressure to our east and south. That will bring wind in from a colder northeast direction. And then 12 here, very similar. Again, blocking around Greenland and Iceland, trough of low pressure across the northwest of Europe. That looks potentially quite cold, and winds from the north from the northeast. So next week's developments might just be the start of a progression towards proper cold weather locking in a second week of December. Surveys weekly finally means a 500 millibar high tolerance rain down to week periods. The first week period takes from 26th of November, 2nd of December. The coming week has high pressure blocking to the north, but also the ridge to the southwest, and so that just about manages to keep us relatively mildish. Week 2 is going to be the 3rd to the 9th of December. Big changes on Jeremy Friday. Now we've got the high pressure really blocking around Greenland and Iceland again. Low pressure is to the south. Winds should be coming in from quite a cold east or northeasterly direction there. Week 3 is going to be the 10th to 16th of December. High pressure again centred over Greenland and Iceland. Low pressure to our south-southwest. Once more, we should be bringing in the wind for a cold east or northeasterly direction with that, and the low pressure to the south-southwest could be providing the energy for snow. And then week 4 is the 17th, 23rd of December, running up towards Christmas. The high pressure moves back to Scandinavia. Low pressure to our west-southwest. That's going to be trying to introduce milder air from the southwest But of course, a high pressure going to Scandinavia will be trying to keep wind in from the east. So that's a little bit of a battleground scenario, I think. And who knows what fun and games we might have with that. The temperature anomalies for the next 4 weeks looks like this. Lastly, week 1, 26th November, 2nd December, above average temperatures. Week 2, though, look at this, 3rd to the 9th of December, goes a little bit cooler than average, slightly below average temperatures forecast there. Big flip compared to January, Friday, yesterday. But look at week 3. This is the 10th to the 16th of December. Quite significantly colder than average there. Wow. You don't see that very often with the CFS. On the temperature scale, we're probably going down to around 2 to 3 degrees below average there, I think. Goodness gracious. A little bit of a recovery in the temperature takes place into week 4, running up towards Christmas, 17th, 23rd December, starting to go slightly above average. Of course, there'll be a transitional zone within that, though. So, as I say, who knows what funny games could occur as the milder air tries to move in against that cold air. Rather wintry run up to Christmas, perhaps, this year. Let's wait and see. Right, we're done. If you enjoyed this video, then please like, subscribe. Thank you so much for doing that. Why not drop a comment? Let us know what you think about all of our videos. And don't forget to tell your friends about GavsWeatherVids. Ask them to subscribe as well. It's amazing. It's incredible. And we thank you so very much, everyone, for doing that. Goodness gracious me. We need to put on around 50 subscribers. That is all to get ourselves to 14.9k. So please give us a sub. Thank you so much for doing that. We get to 14.9k. We're going to start taking people's names for our 15k Amazon giveaway. So that's going to be epic. We're giving away an Amazon voucher at 15k. And when we reach 14,900, just 100 left to go, we will start taking people's names for the giveaway. And we thank you so very much, everyone, for doing that. Right, we're done with today's vids. Just coming up tomorrow, 6 a.m. upload. We will have the 13th and final winter update. It's going to be an epic. All winter updates so far, I've been keeping them between 40 and 50 minutes. This one, I'm just going to let it all hang out, and not literally, and we'll just see how long it goes on for. But I will think it is going to be over an hour, so it will be a proper epic to finish our winter updates with this week. And we should be doing a Christmas update for you as well. Tomorrow night Christmas update, that should be coming up probably in the late afternoon, early evening tomorrow. You enjoy the rest of your Saturday. I'm going to be beavering away on the winter update from now on. You enjoy the rest of your Saturday. And for this video, that's all for now. And thanks so much for watching. Bye for now.